All right. Hi, I'm V and I am your Scorpio Big Sis here on YouTube and on Instagram. And I'm fighting the sun because right now it wants to peer through and kill me. So today we are doing a cord cutting ritual. I put a poll on Instagram and a lot of people voted for cord cutting. I think it was between cord cutting and money magic. Yes. I still love to do money magic though, but I love me a good cord cutting. Sounded weird. But what you will need is a thing of twine. You will need an herb to represent yourself and an herb to represent what you want to cut from, what you want to cut off, whether it be a person, a feeling, a thing, a place, your former self, because that is a thing also. I also would say you need 2 candles, obviously. One that represents yourself, and then a completely different color that would represent what you want to cut yourself from. The person, place, feeling, thing, etc. Something sharp that you will need to draw or carve into the candle. I use the Chime candles because they're 2 hours. And you need these things, they burn straight down, but I have felt that they are just the best when it comes to, I like to read the wax, or at least read how the cord cutting is going. I also like to record it because that tells you a lot. It tells whether it's a clean break, if the person's not letting you go, if, for some reason it's not a solid break. For some reason, it could show you also like how intense the break is for the other person or other thing. I did a cord cutting before where the flame, it was for an ex, and the flame, he would not let me go. And then his candle was in complete flames, not even no longer the wick. It was the complete candle and it went up in flames. It was the most intense cord cutting I've personally ever seen happen. And then also, I'm going to be using the cord cutting oil to anoint my candles with. This is from the local hedge witch. I will link this down below. And I'm going to be putting black salt, regular white sea salt, or you could use regular table salt, and rosemary around my candle personally, just because I just want that protective barrier that says, I no longer want anything to do with you. So it's basically like I'm shutting that door. So let's get started on this. You also need a fireproof or fire safe plate. I'm using a dinner plate because it's just what I have. I don't have anything pretty that I would put this on anyways, just because this is gonna get buried or tossed or what have you. So I'm gonna just use this. So what, I need a lighter. Pause. All right, back. So I have this very obnoxious, I call this a clicker. Let me know down below. What is this called? I've called it a clicker my entire life. Probably because, I don't know. I come from Pennsylvania and we call things weird. I don't know. Also, I have, both of my parents are from, my father is from a different country. my father is from England, so my mother is American, so they would constantly have different names for everything. So it was kind of like if some of us kids call something one thing, a couple of us will call like what my dad would call it, just depending on who it is. I definitely would like probably call more things more on the dad side, just because I spent more time with him. I was a daddy's girl. But let's get started with this. So I like to melt the bottom of these guys, just to be able to, you know, oh God, stick it. You would do this most likely after you've carved into the candle itself. So you want them the furthest away from each other. Okay. And then these would already be carved. You would already carve your name or your sigils into it. I would suggest if it's you cutting yourself from a person, you would carve your name and date of birth into the candle, and then their name, their date of birth. If you don't have the full date of birth, the month. I would even say just the month would be fine, as long as you have their full name and their birth month. Any sigils that you want, that you feel necessary, protective sigils, anything like that, you would carve onto your candle, not theirs. Unless you want to send them off with well wishes, which I highly doubt if you're doing this type of ritual, just because I don't think it's painful. There's controversy on if this is painful or not. I think this is just you shutting the door. You're shutting it down. You're like, no, I'm done with this. So these would already be anointed and whatnot. And then you would wrap your twine around said candles. I don't want this to be like giant. So actually, before I wrap them, let me put the associating herbs. So I'd put like the sunflower around this one, because that's this person. We're gonna say person just because that's usually what a cord cutting is for. It's for usually you're cutting, and I grew these sunflowers too as well and dried them. So then I'm going to use hibiscus flower for mine. These are from Moon and Macabre. They're just dried hibiscus flowers. Jeez. I'm just gonna put those around the base. Candle here. And then I'm going to put my protective herbs around the candle, only around mine, just because we don't care what happens to them. Sorry that I don't. Normally when I've done these, and I'll just put it around. Black salt is so beautiful. I'm such a weirdo because I love the look of black salt. I want the sea salt just around And then rosemary. She's just like a good protective herb. Ah! No, over here. Okay. The oil would already be on the candles. You basically would roll them in it on a plate or surface, like roll them in the oil itself. Some people roll them with the herbs onto it as well. I'm not doing that just because I don't really like to do that. And then I'm going to tie one end. Okay. Let me cut that off. It just looks weird. And then you're going to tie the other end. Oh, this is not easy to do. Okay, and then it would look like this. So I'm gonna cut this side off too because it just looks weird. But it's basically what you would do, and then you would light them. Okay. And you would say, because I have this written out, you would light both candles and you would visualize basically like a big giant pair of scissors coming down and just like basically you next to this person, and there's a line, an emotional, spiritual line in between you and that person, and there's just a big giant pair of scissors severing that. Basically, if you've ever seen the Disney movie, not sponsored, Hercules, where the three fates, they like take the scissors and cut their freaking life off pretty much, that's what you want to visualize. That's what's happening with this. And you would light both candles and you would say, I sever the ties in which we are binded, and release all ties that I have had with you emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually. As I will this, so mote it be. And then you would let them burn down completely. But I want you to watch. Obviously, fire safety is a key in this, but also you want to watch what happens between these and see how it severs. And that way you can also read and see like, okay, it was a clean break, it was an easy break, or it, you know, they wouldn't let go as easily, but they've let go, you know. So, but that's all I have for you today. And I will definitely post what this, what like some of them will look like over on my Instagram, like some of the flames and stuff. I'll definitely show a picture of the one I did before where the entire candle was up in flames. I'll have to show you that. That was absolutely amazing. And that was a really, really great cord cutting emotionally for me personally. So, but that's all I have for you today. Like and subscribe, and also don't forget to cleanse, protect, and ward. Bye.